When people are scared, retail isn't there, it is usually the very best time to prepare. And that's what I want to talk. I don't know why I always start with these stupid rhymes, but that's what I want to talk about in this video. There is so much money to make in this crypto market. If you think that the market can maybe do a 5x from this point, which is quite bearish, right? Then you can easily walk away with more. And in this video, I want to show you what I am doing, right? Not showing you what you should do you, right? But I think there are a couple good ways to walk away with a lot more. And I want to touch on a couple projects in specific because the market is a little boring right now. But in the boring phase of the market, there is a lot of stuff happening in the back that you don't see. And if you see it, you can position yourself well for the next leg. So I want to talk about a couple projects, again, in specific, that have some things brewing that I feel like, whoa, okay, this could actually be pretty huge. But before we do that, I need you to like this video. Let YouTube think that I'm not talking shit, okay? Let's put that subscriber count back into the positive again. Okay, people that have been following me know that it sucks lately. But the thing is that I can talk about specific projects, and I know that making these videos with 10 altcoins to buy right now, like these are the popular ones. I get that. It's normal. I get it. But is it the best content? In my opinion, not really, because in a market where everything is going parabolic, pretty much every altcoin goes up with it, right? But if you don't expect that to happen in the first place, yeah, then it's going to be hard to sit on the couple altcoins that you are bullish on. So I don't want to spend a lot of time at this part of the video, but I do want to mention for the people that maybe are new or like a reminder every now and then, by that I mean every day, the market is looking like it is going to rip, okay? On the shorter time frame, it looks like, okay, we can maybe expect a little pullback. The stochastic RSI is getting a little overheated right now. People finally have a little profit again if they bought a couple weeks ago, so they're probably going to take some. That doesn't really matter. On the longer time frame, it is all just pointing upwards, right? And last time we were sitting at that level, Bitcoin went from 64K to 109, basically. And the altcoin market was even way more explosive. Now, I can show you 10, 20 charts that all say like, hey, there's a lot of good stuff brewing right now. The money flow within crypto itself could already cause a huge explosion in the altcoin market. Maybe the Fed meeting next week is going to result in the end of QT, right? And I do think that it's now a matter of a couple of months, right? But how do you walk away with more than what the market is giving you, right? That's hard because let's say you are in AVAX, right? And you feel like this can go to $100, just calling something. You're not just gonna wait until it hits $100 and then sell, right? You're gonna DCA out of it in case it's not gonna hit that $100. So even if it 5x's, you don't even walk away with a 5x if you're smart, right? So how do you walk away with more instead of less? There are multiple ways, right? You can ride multiple bull markets, and that's by one, of course, very simple, shuffling coins, right? Like, hey, if AVAX, for example, has a kind of an individual explosion or breakout or whatever, you can always say to yourself, like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take some profits out of that and put it into render or whatever, something that I'm down on, right? And then ride that. There are many ways, but I want to talk about a very specific way that so far in this market has worked very well for me, while it wasn't even the season for that, let alone once the season occurs, right? Also, though, if you are willing to learn more about crypto, do look into the macro, right? Do look into like, hey, what does it mean if they reduce the balance sheet? What does it mean if they cut rates? What does it all mean, right? Now, in the Alpha Factory, K-Dub is dropping some real alpha. He's like posting these videos. This should be a paid course. Like, it's crazy. So do check out the Alpha Factory down below. Like, there are so many exclusive videos, one-on-one calls with me if you want to go over your portfolio. It's all fine, but this is really what you want to see in my opinion. Now, the thing that I want to touch on today is the big pivot and change in the way new projects get released, right? Now, but before you think about that, you should realize that the market goes up first. Otherwise, you will not be able to interest yourself in new projects in the first place, right? If you feel like, man, my portfolio is underwater, I want to play it safe, I just want to get my initial back, right? Like, in that stage of the market, you won't even think about new projects. Like, they're all wrecking us right now. Why should we even think about that, right? But this is exactly the best moment to think about that. Okay, and I want to explain to you exactly why. But again, you have to. This video is only going to be important and useful if you feel like, hey, the market is going to get a huge leg up. But to explain it very shortly, and therefore watch one of my latest videos, I'm all talking about it. But therefore, to explain it very shortly, my theory, new projects here performed very well. New projects here performed very well. Here, they basically got rocked. Here, they basically got rocked. Or they don't TGE, or they, whatever, right? So IDOs, new projects, pre-sales, they only happen / successfully happen if the market is already up really hard. Okay. Why? Well, one, people don't have the money to gamble, basically, right now. Two, the projects are not releasing and they're all doing bad. But three, as well, people feel like, why should I go in pre-sales? Because what's the benefit of a pre-sale? Being early, right? Yeah, that's all nice, but you don't have to get into pre-sales these days to be early, right? You can just go and buy some random safe coin on the market and you are already early. You can see it by the social metrics, the people that are interested in crypto right now. This is sitting at lows, right? You are early by being in the open market. And if you look at prices of these altcoins, even price-wise, you are early, right? So there's no need for more risk, right? You can make good money with safe coins at this stage of the market. But then again, once the market turns around, which could happen fast, then that opportunity is gone, right? Then people here, once they see the market is confirmative, once people make money, once IDOs start to do well, here, for example, people feel like also like, oh, yeah, I'm not that early in I'm buying the top right now. It could go high, but whatever, right? And people made money again, so they can gamble, right? And I call it gambling, but this is even, I'm talking about refundable IDOs, right? But here people feel like, hey, launchpads, let's get into pre-sales. Let's get into something that can give me an opportunity to still be early. Let's front run everybody. You are not front running anybody, because guess where these launchpad tokens are sitting once the market is sitting here? Also there, right? So the only way to front run is to prepare in that field here, right? And that is where a lot of money is. That's how I made a lot of money in this cycle alone, right? The launchpad tokens at this moment are down as well. They are even down harder than other altcoins. But I'm still in such a net positive on it, right? And that was very simple because I prepared here in launchpad tokens and here. And once you are here, you are literally printing. You can't imagine. Now, I want to talk about what's going to change, what is going to be so good at this, uh, and that if you do live in a country where you cannot access these launchpads, Is it game over for you? Is there no way to participate? There is a very simple way actually to play this game, and even a better way, in my opinion. So let's talk about that. But I did need to give a couple disclaimers in this video. Okay. The people that say that, new launches are dead, there are too many coins, launchpads are dead. That's exactly why you want to buy that right now. You don't want to buy it in the moment where everybody is euphoric about it, right? People didn't want to buy it here. They didn't want to buy it here. They don't want to buy it here. But guess who made 20, 30x's here and here, right? The people that took that risk. So let's discuss that real quick. Now, the cool thing is that if you look at the last cycle, and I'm just taking Cedify as an example, right? There are more launchpads. To be honest, I don't know a lot of safe launchpads. Cedify, Chain GPT are on my top list, right? There are also the more expensive launchpads, but yeah, you pay for quality, right? Now, at this moment, it's not even that expensive, right? Cedify, the Cedify token used to be 17 bucks, 60 cents right now, right? So this is at the moment very cheap. And this is not because it's dead or whatever. Sometimes coins are just cheap and it's just an opportunity. And that's what we have seen in this cycle. In the bear market lows, Cedify went to like 50 cents. But in a relief, in a non-alt season relief, where it just came out of the bear market and followed Bitcoin and that's it did a 10x, right? Now we are at that same price, and macro, crypto, and Cedify as a launchpad itself all looks like so much better. Like that's not even comparable, right? So this is to me beyond obvious. And it's not because you might feel you just want to shield his bags. I get 2,000 views. This is a $40 million market. I'm not moving this chart, right? That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to really make sure that you can come back in a year and be like, thank you. I will watch your channel because that's good for me, right? Make sure that I can still do this in a year. That's what I hope. Okay. So we'll talk about that. But if you look, when is a pure IDO season, right? People they kind of expect it to just be whenever they invest, and if it doesn't happen, then it's dead, it's down, it's bad, it doesn't work, right? A pure IDO season is a very short-lived moment. It's the season in the market where everybody is so extremely euphoric, where when we like are all season, people making money, and they have all the money to put into new projects. And that's what you saw in 2021, right? You'll see it by the dates: October 2021, December, August, November, December, November, all basically the end of 2021. 700x, 600x, 180, 160, 109, 76. Like, man, if you even hit one of those, crazy. And they basically, there were like, I don't know how many, like in only Q4 of 2021, right? But unfortunately, most people, they saw it happen in October. So what they do, they bought in October, right? People, they don't like buying whenever it's cheap. They like to buy when there's confirmation. But confirmation overall doesn't go together with low prices, right? So people, they bought it here. They bought it here, they bought it here, they bought it here, right? One, they bought the top on an altcoin. Two, it was so expensive back then. Try to get a high tier there. Not possible, right? The people that did have a high tier over here because they bought here, they printed millions of dollars, like millions, right? By investing in a coin that was sitting at around 50, 60 cents. And we are now there again, right? So these were the returns in the last cycle. Will we guaranteed see the same returns? No, there's no guarantee. But will there be some lunches that get like completely crazy, like some of these? likely, right? I also was in the Chain GPT launch and it did so freaking amazing, man. It's like, this was a killer. And unfortunately, I did not had the highest stair over here, right? It was April 2023. April 2023 was here. So it basically got launched in the bear market, right? And it did fantastic, right? So you'll know that in the bull market, man, we can get more of those, right? So we know about the returns. Now, when it comes to Cedify specific, because the thing is, there are a lot of launchpads. There are a lot of ways crypto projects release. I would say, if you are still on Pump Fund, the fuck are you doing? Unless you are somewhat a trenches king that's a super scammer kind of, I don't know what the fuck. Like, great for you, right? But overall, if you are looking for new launches, don't go there. Don't go on pink, sell these kind of things. That's not what you want to do, right? There, anybody could launch a scam coin and it's non-refundable. You just lose your money in the hope that you have that exception that does a 10,000x, right? By the time you hit it, you will need it. So you don't want to do that. Overall, there are still a lot of launchpads out there, right? And a lot of them died. A lot of them shown like, hey, we can't. I talked about some launchpads that didn't turn out to do well. Definitely. Like, it's not possible to talk about a project that and or to talk about, I don't know how many projects, and they will all survive. Some projects will die. But Cedify is stood the test of time. And they are going through such a pivot right now, which when I first read this, it was kind of scary to me. Um, but I actually feel like, whoa, oh, it's even freaking trending right now. But I feel like, whoa, I think that this could put Cedify in just, I don't know, this could be crazy. And I'm stacking up personally. It's already my biggest holding. I'm going very stupidly marry that coin. So the founder of Cedify, he first tweeted this: in the new permissionless, permissionless pad of Cedify, we will be utilizing S Fund as the core of everything, not just for staking for tiers. Right, so that's now what you got to do. For the people that are new to this, you buy S Fund, you stake it, and on the amount, based on the amount, how much you have, you get a tier, and then you can invest more in a new project. Yeah, let's say you invest $1,000 in a new project instead of $100. Yeah, with this return, that's a big difference. So there's already a big demand for these kind of tokens, right? But they were thinking like, how can we increase the demand? Something that will probably 100/1000x our volume, not just in one single chain, but in all major EVM chains. When I read this, I was like, that's optimistic. But when the news came out, which I'm going to show, I felt like, okay, maybe this could happen indeed. To put it into comparison, an access token, that was what Cedify was slash is, you needed it to access new launches, right? That access token alone, without any other utility, could see a $350 million circulating market cap twice. If you look at the market cap, it went to 350 here, it went to 350 here. Cool thing is, and therefore I'm also a big believer in Cedify, here it went there in a full alt season. Here it went slightly over it without alt season. That's crazy shit. That shows that the not diminishing is not a word in this dictionary, right? So that's insane to me that they can top above an alt season peak while we are in the middle of a QT market. Crazy shit. That's really like, not a lot of projects did this, right? So that's already pretty interesting. And we are now sitting at 38. How in the fuck can we not go 10x from here, right? So he tweeted, I would say we will create at least 30x more demand for it when the platform gets active and in a full-fledged way. Can't wait to share what this means without using cryptic language. Early this week, we will be beginning the reveals. Eyes on $10 billion market cap someday, not too far from now. And I know it sounds like crazy, like from 40 million to 10 billion. One, welcome to crypto, right? This happens. I mean, last cycle or 2007, even Cardano was sitting at 1 billion already, and it 10x from or 100x from there. So Dogecoin went from to almost $1. Like, this is not the space to say like, hey, that's not possible. Like, man, this is like, what the fuck, man. So that's the goal. That, don't take this as a promise. Don't take this as a guarantee, as financial advice. But as a founder, he has a goal, right? And price wise, this is something that he feels like, let's work towards that. And I'm supporting that, right? And I want to see that as well. Then the news came out. Till now, we kept Cedify's upcoming permissionless pad system hidden. Let's reveal our core system for the first time, a merge of InfoFi and S-Fund. Till now, our allocations were only for S-Fund holders. In our permissionless pad, Kaido and Ethos will play a role too, a key role even. When you connect to our permissionless pad, we will gather your total Kaido yaps and your Ethos score. These plus your referrals will be calculated in a unique formula that will provide you a Cedify social score. So there is now more that you can do to get higher tiers. And you'll know that people will do that because people were willing to pay freaking, like, what was it? I don't know, man. Like 60 times as much money as a few months before that to get into that tier. So it's like going to a car dealer and like, hey, that car is $1,000. No thanks. Couple months later, it's $60,000. You'd be like, take my money, right? Like, that's what happens. That's how people are, right? So yeah, people will do anything to get into it, right? But now it's more than just buying. Still buying, you still need S-Fund. Nothing changes about that, right? You still need S-Fund. But the activity increase and the volume increase and the fighting for a spot, that's gonna increase right now. And that's crazy, right? This way, we will welcome people who have the power to create attention and influence into Cedify launches automatically without any gatekeeping. To projects launching on Cedify's InfoFi permissionless pad, this will mean enormous virality by welcoming all attention creators. Whereas Cedify or S-Fund has been the token for accessing lunches only before, this will not be all what our token is anymore. S-Fund will be the liquidity pair of all projects releasing on our permissionless pad too. Can you imagine that Blocktopia, which did a 700x, was paired with S-Fund? Do you know what that would have meant for the Cedify token? Do you know what it would have meant if all of these tokens had? It's fucking crazy. That's insane. That's off. Like, the originality, the brilliance behind it. It's insane. I really feel like, man, I don't know. I love it. This flywheel. Sorry. Yeah. In a chain agnostic way in all the chains that we support. So it's going to be Solana, AVAX, Ethereum, Base, Binance Smart Chain. This flywheel will mean constantly growing amount of Cedify locked in liquidity pools and all transactions done via S-Fund. The more launches we do, the more S-Fund will gain momentum, and the more momentum tokens paired with S-Fund we gain through this growth engine. So that's kind of what I just discussed. Like, successful launch, usually what happened, it was a little dependent on the people, right, on the investors, and now it's going to be automated, right? If I would have put, I don't know, I had tier 5, right, and I put $100 in Blocktopia, and let's say I'm gonna get that's 700x, right? I made a lot of money, and I feel like, oh, That's nice. I want to be in the next launch. I have more money. Let me use that money to buy more S fund. That's what's driving the price up, right? That will still happen, but now it's also going to be automatically when these projects are going to release, and that's just like, I don't know. I know I feel stupid. I feel like, why have I never thought about this before? But nobody has, apparently. So this is crazy, man. This is really crazy. Our bonding curve system will not be your typical one. For projects that want to raise funds, there is a custom mechanism where parameters can be defined from project dashboard about the raise, tokenomics, and curve, so that utility and app tokens can use our launchpad too. The more S funds you stake, the more Cedify social score you have. You will enter bonding curves from earlier stages. Thus, discounted spots on bonding curves will await those who are higher as fund tiers or who are big on Kaido and Ethos. Maximum value, attention, and virality. Like, this sounds like really interactive to me. And I honestly cannot wait until this is going to all start. And that's not going to be that long from now. So there's no possibility for snipers to snipe these bonding curves, by the way. Our bonding curves are protected, allocating the spots automatically in order for only A, S-Fund stakers, and B, those with Cedify social scores gathered through Kaido and Ethos and referrals to benefit. And that was also a problem, right? If you were ever in a good launch and it came out and then starts to sell off before you even get your tokens, man, new releases had such a bad reputation because of that. And that's mostly because of these bullshit fucking snipers, man. And I feel like Levant, sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I don't know if you're watching. If you're watching, let's do an interview. I love you, man. Thank you. But what was I going with this? I don't know. They thought about this so extremely nicely. That's just great, man. There's more to reveal. We are about to redefine how new token launches are done. We welcome you to a new era of InfoFi powered TGEs, not just for meme coins, but utility tokens as well. It's about gathering the whole ecosystem together to create the biggest launches possible. So prepare your S-Fund tiers as well as your total Kaido, EAPs, JAPs. I don't even know what that is. I have to research that though. If somebody knows, tell me down below in the comments. But I want to be a whale there. And ethos scores, it's about to get wild, launching this quarter, right? And you might feel like, yeah, well, it's April, whatever, dude. Like, man, if it launches in May, June, I don't care. Like, let them build, and I'm so like excited about this. So therefore, I feel like, man, if Cedify was able in a non-alt season to reach a $350 million market cap by being a basic launchpad, basically, I'm very curious what it's going to do when there are like this innovative during an alt season, right? Now, this is a big change. Like, it could be a little scary, like, wow, this is a lot. Will it work? Right? Like, but yeah, that's the risk reward in crypto. Like, you don't know if something works. Therefore, prices are cheap. And if it works, yeah, you can buy it whenever it turns out that it works, but then it's kind of too late, right? So I'm keeping to stack up on this like crazy, and I don't know, man. I'm kind of speechless now. Something very short about another project, that's Chain GPT. And Chain GPT, they have a lot of articles lately. So if you go to their X account, you can check out their articles about what they are doing. But Chain GPT is actually building their own layer one blockchain as well. And you know, it's for me not like a lot of people, they be like, oh, it's Ethereum versus Solana, it's Chain GPT versus Cedify. They can all coexist, right? And I love Chain GPT as well, man. I mean, it is crazy how they came out in a bear market, did a 70 freaking X, you know, turned into a launchpad, basically did everything right from the start, and are just growing and innovating day by day by day. It is completely crazy. And if you look at their launches, they didn't launch yet any projects during an alt season or whatever, right? But if you look at these all-time high ROIs, 40, 27, 27, 27, 27, 24, 18, crazy, right? And, you know, do you exactly sell that top? No, of course it looks better than what it is. And if you would have held these tokens until now, with a lot, you will be in a loss. But overall, there's good returns that you got from it. I made solid gains on AI tech as well, for example, right? This is another launchpad that I feel like, man, if I have to put my money somewhere, then it's also there. So for me, it's Cedify and it is Chain GPT. Cedify more on the OG side, blue chip side, but also more on the speculative side, as they are so innovative. And sometimes they do things that are maybe a little bit too much, right? They launch a meme coin, and it doesn't really like they at least try, right? And that's what I love about them and Chain GPT, for the fact that they are so consistently just doing well, and keep building, right? Like, and that's crazy. This has a $94 million market cap. Also went to 350, right? And that's easy money, one. But again, it's also that their launches, they provide a lot of gains. And therefore, I love this so much in general, launchpads, because the only risk that you're taking is by being in Cedify or Chain GPT. Any project could die, whatever, right? But that risk, you carry that risk with every project. But when it comes to the launches, yeah, what's the risk really, right? I mean, the launches are mostly refundable. And I'm personally, at the moment, just skipping the non-refundable launches. It's just not worth the risk for me in this stage of the market. But if you go with the refundable launches, then, hey, you have a chance of making I don't know how many X. And if it doesn't, you go for a refund and you get your money back. And it's like no damage done, right? Therefore, if these refundable launches come across me, I'm gonna put my money in. Again, if it works, I have made some money. Otherwise, I would just had some stables. I don't make money with that, right? If it doesn't work, I'm gonna refund it. Still have my stables, right? That's the secret in yeah. Look, and therefore I said, like, a lot of people, they don't care about it this stage of the market, right? Therefore you see Cedify being this low, and this is a scary chart for people. They look at this and be like, it's dead. Like, things that are opportunities always look dead, right? Opportunities always look like something that's dead. Here it looked also dead, and it 10x'd because the market conditions for altcoins had a little bit of relief. Everything is set with that, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. Do whatever you want with it. But, and I'm not telling you to buy this, whatever. I don't give a shit. I just want to make sure that I mention this at the best possible time ever, right? What if Cedify is sitting at 40 cents, 60 cents, even at $1, like even if it goes to 20 cents for what for reason soever, like that's the moment. That's the moment. And that's not a guarantee, but it is the best bet to take, right? Now, very shortly, if you live in a country where you are restricted from participating in these kind of launches, move out. Now, you can go to Web3 Wheels, right? That's my project. Just a very quick, like, I don't even want to shill it. I don't even want you to buy this. But we invest in projects like collectively, right? That's what we do. So we've put a lot of money together. We invested a couple $100K in seed rounds, but also we are the highest tier on Cedify, Chain GPT, etc. And if you stake our token, you can stake our token right here. And then you just simply get a share of the money that we make. So if we, as whales, we can maybe put in $5,000 in a new launch instead of you as an individual $500. Yeah, if we 10x that, then in ratio you will get more. Plus you don't have to do anything. Plus, again, if you live in a country where you can't, you can't. So that's what we do. And yeah, our metrics, by the way, we have 100 million tokens. A lot is burned. 71 million is staked. right? It's crazy. The amount burned is at the moment 5 million. So out of the 95, 71 is staked. Like it's insane, these kind of numbers, right? So check out W3W on CoinGecko. I'm a little ashamed to show it right now because we don't have any volume at the moment, but you know, we have a small community. There's no like promotion, marketing going on because yeah, again, who the fuck are we gonna market to, right? Right. So therefore, I feel like, man, we have that small community, but there's a lot of money in the project. And once the market starts to go up, we can share it with a small community so everybody gets quite a big piece of the pie. And therefore, I don't really like having outsiders in the project. So, but if you see this and you're still watching, then it means you should be somewhat of an OG, right? So then I feel like, hey, you're welcome to join. Um, but yeah, like this probably the simplest way, and you can just lean back, man. So it's crazy. But again, you have to believe in the market in the first place, right? If you don't believe in the market, then why are you watching this? But then you also then it makes more sense why new launches are going to do well. And if you then also look at the way new launches are going to take place, then for me it is like it's only a waiting game from this point. So that's crazy. Enough for now. I think this was I hope this was a useful video for you with some alpha. If yes, let me know. If not, let me know as well. And if you want to like the video, would do me a favor with it. Thank you for watching and see you next one. See you in the next. Should I edit this? Nah.